Boris Johnson hosted a G7 meeting on vaccines, saying the UK will donate its vaccine surplus to the COVAX facility. Should Canada do more to step up? Let's find out. Joining us is International Development Minister Karina Gould. Welcome, Minister Gould. Nice to see you. Welcome to Power Play. Am I understanding that Canada's total contribution to COVAX is about $440 million? This is obviously the International Vaccine Sharing Program. Ottawa has secured from this program 1.9 million doses for itself. As we said earlier, the only G7 country so far to do so. With all the contracts your government have secured, 84 million by the end of September. This is what the Prime Minister has told us all week. Does Canada really need those 1.9 million doses that really should go to poorer countries? Does Canada need them?
Well, Joyce, I think it's important just to take a step back and to take a minute to explain what COVAX is. There are two elements to COVAX, and they're mutually reinforcing. So COVAX was intentionally designed to bring wealthy countries in to purchase vaccines, which on the one hand enables greater purchasing power for all of the countries, but also enables us to subsidize vaccines for lower income countries. So there's the self-financing portion, which is the part that you're talking about, and the access to 1.9 million vaccines that Canada has through the COVAX facility. But then we've also donated $325 million to the COVAX pool to purchase vaccines for developing countries as well. So Canada really was one of the first donors and one of the lead donors. And what today's announcement was all about with the G7 was welcoming additional contributions to COVAX from the United States, from Germany, really demonstrating that the G7 is stepping up when it comes to providing vaccines to the developing world.
So I'm just wondering if we're going to get obviously the rollout now is quite slow, and but eventually we're told by the Prime Minister that it will pick up. So at what point does Canada decide to let them go? Where's your point? I mean, you've got to be thinking about the point being the only sort of developed and rich country to have tapped into COVAX, and I get your point of everybody contributed. The price obviously goes down, but at what point does Canada let these vaccines go?
Well, and I would just correct you, because Canada's not the only, wealthier country. I mean, we're talking about countries like
No, I
South
said it was
Korea
the only G7.
Right? So, well, you said wealthier country, actually, but I think that's important. And those two mechanisms don't work without each other. You need both. That's how COVAX was designed, and it was intentional that way. What the Prime Minister and what I have said, going back to last fall, was that Canada won't let any doses go wasted. So when we get to a point where we have excess doses in Canada, we will absolutely be donating them. We have no desire in Canada to have doses that aren't going into people's arms. We want to make sure that people all around the world have access, which is precisely why we've been such a huge supporter, champion, and engaged in the COVAX facility, because it is, for the first time in world history, bringing all countries together, richer countries, poorer countries, to say, let's try to tackle this collective action problem together. And in fact, in the coming weeks, COVAX is going to be rolling out vaccines right around the world to countries of all income levels, which is really, really important. And Canada's contribution today is going to help ensure that that rollout is smooth.
So I'm wondering if you can give me an example of a country that would benefit, that has nothing now. We complain that we have very little, and the rollout is very slow, of course, but there are countries who have absolutely nothing yet. Give me an example of that, of a country that is in that situation, and what COVAX can do for that country and how fast.
Yeah, so COVAX's objective is to provide 2 billion doses this year to its member countries. 1.3 billion of those doses are going to countries in the developing world. For example, I was just on a call with my counterpart in Rwanda earlier this week that will be receiving a couple 100,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine as well as doses from AstraZeneca. And so these are going to be some of the first vaccines that are going to be rolled out to their healthcare professionals and vulnerable populations. This is the case for member countries, right? Those doses that are arriving, in their country are going to make sure that they're getting to those most in need. And so COVAX is going to be distributing these allotments, and it's going to be making a really important difference. And so we recognize that as we're vaccinating Canadians, we need to be doing our part to support those elsewhere in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but I want to move very quickly because we don't have a lot of time left to a completely different topic. On Monday, MPs will be voting on a conservative motion to declare the treatment in China of the Uyghur minority a genocide. Is this a free vote for you? And if so, are you going to be told how to vote? Is it a free vote? And how will you vote, Minister?
Well, this is a vote that's happening in the House of Commons. Our party, as Liberal Party, has free votes if they're not motions of confidence or part of our political party's platform. I am a member of Cabinet, though, so I will be voting with Cabinet. But one of the things is that this debate is still very much going on right now. I'm watching the debate, I'm listening to it, and we'll be making our decision on Monday.
Do you know what that decision is? Even if you don't want to tell me, do you know what the decision is?
No, these are very live conversations. This is a really difficult, important issue. The human rights abuses and the egregious information that we're getting out of China is something that is really important for us to consider very, very carefully. And so those conversations are very much happening. This is something that we're taking with the utmost seriousness as we should.
Minister Karina Gould, thank you so much for your time, and have yourself a very nice weekend.
Thank you, Joyce. Same to you.